What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Wanted to talk to you about our friends over at Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching sports. This app is really easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash on a single lineup. Best of all, Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use the promo code PFF and download the app now. Colts, next team we were talking about here in the AFC South. In the first round, it took them all but 2 seconds to turn in the card for tight end Tyler Warren at the very top. In the second round, they went with Ohio State edge rusher JT Tuimoloau. Third round, Justin Wally, the cornerback from Minnesota. Fourth round, Jalen Travis. Fifth round, DJ Giddens. Sixth round, a pair of picks, Riley Leonard and Tim Smith. And then in the seventh round, Hunter Wohler. We at PFF, the staff gave this one a B- here. Chris Ballard stayed very true to his roots, a high RAS, relative athletic score, basically weight-adjusted athletic score type of draft, drafting a bunch of big athletes anywhere he could. What do we think about this one, Dalton?
I'm in between on this. I think it got a B- from our staff because we were a little lower on Wally and Travis, right? I think they were lower on your board, certainly, than third and fourth round picks. But I got to be honest with you, it's hard for me not to look at the Tyler Warren pick as maybe my favorite pick in the entire draft. And I know, there was always a possibility because their talents are relatively even that Loveland could go ahead of Warren. But I think it was a blessing in disguise that Tyler Warren got to the Colts. This was the perfect offense for him. An offense at high RPO, high yards after catch, allow Warren to be that pivot guy, right? Either as a blocker in 11 personnel in the run game, as the RPO threat in the flat who's so dangerous with the ball in his hands after the catch. I actually don't think, even though he went second and maybe he's a little miffed by that, I do not think Tyler Warren could have gone to a better spot than here with Shane Steichen's offense. And, they just have to figure out the quarterback situation, right? So, to me, the more I look at that Warren pick and the fact that he fell to them, they didn't even have to trade up, I might bump this up to a B or a B+. I understand some of the mid-round value is questionable, but look, I think Tuimoloau adds something to their edge unit after losing Dayo Odeyingbo in free agency. I really like DJ Giddens. Getting DJ Giddens in the fifth round, I think he could immediately be their RB2. And I got to be honest, in the same way I said about Warren, I think, if Riley Leonard was going to land somewhere late in this draft, I think this is the right spot for him. I really do. I know they already have one former Duke quarterback in Daniel Jones now there and battling with Anthony Richardson. Leonard, I'm not saying he'll factor into that competition and land in a starting role, but I'll tell you what, in this offense, I think he could manage it. He's accurate underneath. The vertical passing I have more questions about, and he's mobile. I think this is an offense he could actually run if he ever in an emergency needed to come in. So I think there's some guys who got the right landing spot here with the Colts, but especially the Tyler Warren pick just sticks out with a gold star to me. I think it's so perfect for him to be in this offense with this set of weapons.
Yeah, after reviewing it, I really do agree with you. I think that B+, B range is probably more appropriate. Obviously, it's easy to love the Tyler Warren pick. It's a phenomenal football player who fell to them at their biggest area of need, so drafting him is fantastic there. JT Tuimoloau, you mentioned, basically one in, one out on that defensive line, and you're getting sort of the same player. You're just getting him on a rookie contract, and so he will definitely be valuable for that defensive line rotation. And then the two guys in the middle, you're right, like Justin Wally and Jalen Travis. Travis is sort of just a athletic offensive tackle that you want to take a bet on. I mean, he is built like he's a massive human being. He tested the combine like an elite athlete for any offensive tackle, let alone one that has the size that he does. And those are the types of players that the Colts take a chance on. They take a chance on these bigger athletes, and they've been pretty good at developing those offensive linemen. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. I think that's a good landing spot. Justin Wally, there are so many things to like about his game. I think the footwork is excellent. I think the recognition is excellent. He plays very sound and fun with his fundamentals. The only thing is, he's not super strong. He's very lean, and you can see that at the catch point. You can see that when he's tackling, but my goodness, the movement skills are fantastic for this guy. And so he moves like an NFL corner. So I even like this bet to make. And then I agree with you. DJ Giddens, I think, is RB2 on this team at some point. I think that Riley Leonard is a great scheme fit for what they're trying to do. I think Tim Smith is a good rotational interior defensive lineman as well. And then Hunter Wohler at safety on the back end. Again, another athlete that you're just taking a chance on. So I think this has got to be closer to like B plus, because even though a couple of those guys were overdrafted compared to where I had them on my big board, they all seem to be very much scheme fits. It seems to be a very Indianapolis Colts type of draft. And when you have that type of synergy and chemistry between your front office and your scouting staff and the guys who are coaching them on game day, I think that that's always a plus. So I give them a little bit of a boost there, even though they overdrafted a couple of guys in those mid rounds.
Yeah, no, I agree, absolutely. And you mentioned it with Travis. I think Travis is an interesting project because there seems to be a feeling that this could be the last year at right tackle for Braden Smith in Indianapolis. And I think if nothing else, they're throwing a dart and trying to prepare for that. Maybe get him some work at right tackle behind the scenes this year and see how they can develop him before Smith goes.